I call upon the spirit of the owl, messenger of wisdom. Welcome to the Temple of the Owl. Merry meet, my name is Matsal, and this is episode 4, Lunasa. Here at the temple, located deep in the forests of Northern California. I hope everyone's having a great day today, and you're ready to learn about Lunasa, a harvest festival that has deep pagan roots. As always, I want to thank you for listening here on Spotify, and also on the Troubled Minds Radio Network, KUAP Digital Broadcasting. Please visit troubledminds.org. Also visit troubledminds/friends and follow my friend Rohan of the Exiled Minds podcast. I want to thank my friend Rohan and Michael Strange for producing this show. Now, in the last episode, we talked about the Wheel of the Year and how and why we celebrate the changing of the seasons and how pivotal points on the wheel are celebrated. And this is one of those holy days coming up, celebrated on August 1st. And this is just some information about Lunasa. You can change and adapt and celebrate it in your own way. This show is for everyone. You don't have to be a witch or a magician to celebrate these important days. Anyone can gain wisdom and knowledge from the earth. I like to start the conversation with what I call the MOD, or the message of the day. It's a random quote that I find that brings together the show idea. And today's message is this: Lu shines like the sun. That must have made it easy for them to find him. All they had to do is follow his light. And that's by Moria Young. And I like that quote because we're talking about a god of light. So please forgive me if I mispronounce or struggle with some of these names. But let's learn about Lunasa. Lunasa is one of the 4 Gallic seasonal festivals and is celebrated in early August. It marks the beginning of the harvest season, and it is a time to give thanks for the abundance of the land. The festival has roots in Celtic mythology and is named after the Celtic god Lu, who is associated with skill, craftsmanship, and the arts. Here are some key points about the festivals of Lunasa. The festival's origins can be traced back to pre-Christian times, when it was a pagan harvest celebration. Lunasa is typically celebrated on August 1st in the Northern Hemisphere, though the actual date can vary in different cultures and traditions. It falls halfway between the summer solstice, Litha, and the autumn equinox, Mabon. Lunasa was a significant event in the agricultural calendar of the Celts. It was a time for communities to come together, hold fairs, games, and festivities, and give thanks for the successful growth of crops. The festival is named after the Celtic god Lu, who was a hero and a deity of light and skill. He was known for his talents in many areas, such as art, music, poetry, and combat. As with many ancient festivals, Lunasa had its rituals and customs. People would engage in activities like competitive games, horse racing, and sports. Additionally, there are often feasts, music, dancing, and storytelling. It was also a time for hand fastings, which are pagan weddings, and other community bonding ceremonies. In contemporary times, modern pagan and Wiccan communities continue to celebrate Lughnasadh, often incorporating elements of the ancient traditions. It is seen as a time to connect with nature, give thanks for the harvest, and celebrate the abundance of the earth. The story of Lugh, also known as Lugh of the Long Arm, is an important tale in Celtic mythology. Lugh is a predominant figure in Irish mythology and is often associated with various skills and attributes, making him a multifaceted and revered character. Here is an overview of the story of Lugh. Lugh was the son of Cain and Ethnu. Cain was a Tuatha De Danann, a supernatural race in Irish mythology, and Ethnu was the daughter of Balar, a powerful and malevolent Fomorian leader. The Fomorians were ancient sea deities and considered adversaries of the Tuatha De Danann. Before Lugh's birth, there was a prophecy that a child born of Cain and Ethnu would be a great and powerful figure. Balar, fearing this prophecy, imprisoned Ethnu in the tower on Tory Island to prevent the birth. However, Cain managed to rescue Ethnu, and Lugh was born. Lugh quickly grew up and was exponentially gifted individual. He mastered numerous skills, including art, music, poetry, and craftsmanship. He was also known for his powers in combat and was an expert warrior. When Lugh reached adulthood, he journeyed to the court of the Tuatha De Danann, seeking to join them. However, the doorkeeper, not recognizing Lugh initially, denied him entry. Undeterred, Lugh listened and listed all of his skills and talents, each time revealing he was a master in that particular field. Impressed, the Tuatha De Danann welcomed him into their ranks. Lugh became a key figure in the Tuatha De Danann's conflict with the Fomorians. Was a pivotal event in which Lugh led the Tuatha De Danann to victory against the Fomorians, including his grandfather Balar. Lugh was known to wield a mighty spear known as the Slaughterer. It's an extraordinary weapon that no one could withstand, making him a formidable force on the battlefield. As mentioned earlier, the festival of Lughnasadh is believed to have been established by Lugh in honor of his foster mother, Teollatu. It was a time of celebration, games, and feasting, which continued to be celebrated by the Celtic people even after the conversion to Christianity. Lugh is celebrated for his numerous talents and contributions to the Celtic culture, and his story is one of the most predominant and revered in Irish mythology. He embodies the ideal of the skilled and accomplished hero, and his legacy continues to be celebrated in modern Irish folklore and festivals. Remember that different sources and traditions may have variations in the way Lughnasadh is celebrated, but there are some of the general aspects associated with the festival. Another story is that Lughnasadh is named after the funeral feast of his mother, Teollatu. The story goes that she used her magic powers to clear the land of stones from Ireland, so they could plant and grow food to survive the winter. After the feat was accomplished, she perished. But we honor the gift and celebrate by having a feast. The sports and games are sometimes called the taliesin games. In Irish tradition, funerals are seen as a celebration of life, as well as honoring the deceased. Other sacrifice gods include Odin in Norse mythology. Odin sacrificed himself by hanging upside down on the tree of knowledge in order to receive the information of the runes. In Irish lore, it refers to the goddess Mecca, a warrior queen who is part of the triple goddess as the crone. She is seen as the lady of the harvest. Lammas, also known as Lughnasadh, is a traditional harvest festival celebrated on August 1st in the Northern Hemisphere. The festival marks the beginning of the harvest season and is time of giving thanks for the first fruits of the year's crops. The name Lammas comes from the old tradition of the term loaf mass. And it refers to the custom of baking and blessing loaves of bread made from the freshly harvested grain. Here are some of the key aspects of Lammas. A harvest celebration. Lammas is primarily a harvest festival that celebrates the first harvest of the year, and it is time when communities would come together to gather and celebrate the bounty of the land. In agrarian societies, this was the culture time as it is marked the successful culmination months of hard work and agricultural labor. Gratitude and thanksgiving. Lammas is a time to express gratitude for the gifts of nature and give thanks for the abundance of the earth. It is an opportunity to acknowledge the interconnectedness of humans and nature and the importance of the harvest or subsistence and survival. One of the central rituals of Lammas involves baking and blessing the first loaves of bread, made from newly harvested wheat or grains. These loaves are often used in ceremonies and shared among the community as a symbol of abundance and nourishment. Lammas has connections to Celtic mythology, particularly through the association with the god Lugh. As mentioned earlier, Lugh was a Celtic deity associated with various skills and talents, and his festival was celebrated around the same time as Lammas. In modern pagan and Wiccan traditions, Lammas is considered one of the 8 Sabbats on the wheel of the year. It is celebrated as a time to honor the sun's waning strength and the approaching autumn season. Rituals during Lammas often involve themes of sacrifice, transformation, and the cycle of life and death. Lammas historically involved communal gatherings, fairs, and festivities. People would come together to enjoy music, dancing, games, and other forms of entertainment. Overall, Lammas is a beautiful and meaningful festival that celebrates the importance of the harvest and the connection between humans and the natural world. It is a time of reflection, gratitude, and embracing the changing seasons. So I want you guys to go outside today and look around and take a look at all the greenery, all the growing of life all around you. And I want you to think about that garden that we're talking about. I'm talking about physical garden, but there are also spiritual ones. And I'm using this garden as a metaphor for what have you planted and what will you manifest in your life. So let's think about what we want to harvest and what we want to sacrifice to make room in our garden for more. Let go of things that no longer serve you. Sacrifice them, like the Sun King is sacrificed, only to be reborn again. Contemplate what you want to give back to your community or offerings to the gods as we receive the blessings of life. In astrology, the sun is in Leo, the sign of the lion and the Sun King. We know August is the hottest month, and it's about sustainability of the sun, as it is slightly past the peak of its power. It corresponds to the tarot card Strength, which is the tarot card number 8. In the Strength card, we see a woman attempting to tame a lion. She is letting go of fear. It also corresponds to the Sun card, which is tarot card number 19. And the Sun card represents blessings of happiness, prosperity, and romance. The altar is decorated with corn, wheat, rye, barley, and hops. And the candles lit are gold, yellow, and green. The energy of the ritual revolves around the sacrifice of the grain god, symbolically cutting the grain. Some traditions make a corn husk dolly and burn them in their cauldron or bonfire, symbolizing the death of the god, knowing that he will be reborn again. Another favorite tradition is baking and blessing the bread. Some covens will come together and spend time in the kitchen baking loaves of bread, creating a special piece of bread made to look like the sun god. The bread man is passed around, and everyone takes a piece and eats and throws the rest into the fire as an offering. The priest or priestess may walk around and ask what it is you are willing to let go, and she leads each person around the fire, purifying them of what they wish to give up, like fear, anger, or jealousy. Then they are asked, what are you going to keep and harvest in your garden? What are you going to keep growing in that spiritual garden? It is a time of reflection and sacrifice. Also, being thankful for what you have. Remember to honor and revere the sacrifice god next time you take a bite of corn or enjoy a loaf of bread. So these are just some ideas. However, you can choose to celebrate. It's up to you. And I hope that some of these stories resonate with you and can make you come up with your own way of celebrating. And I hope that you learn something new. So the next part of the series will be done in mid-September. And that's when we'll be talking about the Festival of Mabon. And that's all I got for you guys today. But my next episode will be the first ever book review. And I'm hoping you guys will enjoy that. So that's all I have for today. Again, I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for listening on KUAP, Digital Broadcasting. That's the Troubled Minds Radio Network. And I hope that you guys have a great day and have learned something new about the Festival of Lunasaw. That's all I have for today. This is Matt's Owl here at the Temple of the Owl, See you next time. Blessed be.
Person tricks.